Hi everyone, good morning. It is Monday, March, looking at my iPad to see the date, March 27th, 2023. I wanted to film a Flosstube today before I unpacked everything from the Steel City Stitch Retreat. Oh, hi, I'm Amy. I'm so off this morning. I'm Fiber Arts Amy here and on Instagram. And I went to my first cross-stitch retreat over the weekend. I went to the Steel City Stitch Retreat, which is held here in Pittsburgh, which is where I am. And I did a lot of stitching. It was wonderful. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and show you some of the stitching I've been doing this weekend as well as over the last several weeks. Freya, curled up as always. Yeah, I wanted to share it, tell you guys how things were. I did some shopping. I don't normally do like a lot of haul. Like sometimes I'll show you guys the highlights, but I don't normally like do like a haul section, but I think I am today because I did some shopping, and I haven't been doing much cross-stitch shopping lately unless there's like something very specific that I need or want. So anyway, I'm going to jump in. But first, I guess just to talk about the retreat a little bit. It was wonderful. I sat at a great table. So Tiffany, who is Blackcatxstitchery, here, or not here, she doesn't have a Flosstube, but she should. But on Instagram, she also has a great bag shop on Etsy. She sells bags. They're wonderful. I'll try to remember to link her below. So she invited me to join her table. She invited me and Lisa, who's Crossed by Floss, to join their table. I knew Lisa was going to come with me. She and I roomed together. She doesn't live close to me, but like a few hours away, so it's not too bad. Anyway, so it was Lisa and Tiffany and I. Tiffany's mom also came, as well as another Amy, who is Mimi's Stitchery. Oh, I don't think it's Xstitchery. I think it's Mimi's Stitchery. I'm sorry, Amy, that I'm blanking, but I'm going to link it below. Mimi's Stitchery, and she has an awesome Flosstube channel, and she stitches a lot of memorabilia. I got to see 3 different memorabilias from her this weekend. She was stitching Royal Holiday, and she's got like the whole face and like the top part done, and it's beautiful. She was stitching not Lady of the Flag, Queen of Freedom. I like reverse those two all the time. She's stitching Queen of Freedom, and it looked amazing. And she was stitching, she started, is it Tree of Hope? The one with a tree and the 2 figures below is Tree of Hope for memorabilia. They were all stunning. She had a chatelaine. She had Mushroom and Fern Mandala Garden. Oh, it's so pretty in person. And she's got a lot done. She's got like, she has part of the center done, and then she's actually like spread out to like half of it. It looks so good. I was so happy to see it in person because I love looking at everybody's chatelaines from Chatelaine Wednesday on Instagram, but getting to see one in person was just out of this world. So again, Amy's Flosstube is Mimi's Stitchery. Go check it out. I will link it below. Her mom was also with us, as well as Tiffany's mom. Did I say that? They were doing awesome. It was so fun to see everybody's work. And then Trina, and I'm blanking on Trina's Flosstube or Instagram. I'm gonna have to look it up and link it below. But Trina sat with us, which was awesome, and also Diana. And I will link her Instagram below as well because I'm not sure I'll get it right from memory. It was fun. It was a great table. We had a great time. And I got to meet lots of other wonderful people. Sarah E was there, and I got to actually spend time with her. I've spent some time with her like over Zoom and Instagram calls and stuff for a while now. So it was great to see her in person. I got to meet Matt MBS. Oh my God, why am I blanking? I'll link his Flosstube too. Is it MBS Stitcher? No, Corey, MBC Stitcher. I'll link it below. I'm brain dead, I'm sorry. And also got to meet Rolodex, which was awesome to meet her, Carla, because I love her Flosstube too. So anyway, it was a great, and I'm sorry for all the people I'm leaving out. It was a really good weekend. If you have a chance to go to a retreat, I say take it. And most of you probably know that I am helping to host the Queen City Stitch Retreat in October, the Mirabilia themed retreat where Nora, the designer, is going to be with us. So it was good to actually go to a retreat and definitely learn some things about what people like to, you know, have with them at a retreat and whatnot, and kind of how to better accommodate people in October. So I'm really glad to have had that experience. I feel like I sound really froggy, and some people tell me I don't, but I feel like I do. We had a cold like 3 weeks ago, and one of my sons and I are like still kind of like just froggy from it. So I apologize if that's a little bit annoying. I'm gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and show you what I have been stitching on. I'm going to show you first where I am on Egypt Mandala Garden. I did not take this to the retreat, but I've been stitching on it. I've actually been very, very happy with how much I've been getting done lately. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'm looking through my linen to try to make sure it's in frame. I've been very, very happy. I spent some time doing, there's all these over one fish in the center, and I spent some time working on those over one fish, and then I've been kind of going all over the place trying to fill in. I'm trying not to expand out too much more right now, largely because of I have to be able to see what I'm doing. There's this one color, this color here is a Gloriana silk, and it's used a ton. Hi. It's used in all of these. It's used in the outside all the way around. It's used here, and I'm running kind of low of my original skein. It gets used further, whoops. It gets used further, like further out in the design as well. I was able to order, I went ahead and ordered 2 more skeins of it, which is probably more than I need, just to play it safe, but I really want to finish. Oh, this works. I really wanted to finish all of that color on the inside first. They look like they're the same color, but like in the skein, but just in case there is a bit of a difference, I would rather switch to a new skein as I move to like a ring that's like further out in the design. So anyway, yeah, I'm really, really, really enjoying working on it. I forgot that was behind there. The last few times I have worked on it, I feel like for several weeks there over the winter, it was hard to get to. And when I did get to it, it was just for a few stitches. But the last several weeks, I feel like I've gotten to it, and I've gotten to stitch on it for an hour or two and really put in like a good bit of work. Which has been really nice because I really enjoy Shadowing Wednesday. I enjoy having that sort of commitment and excuse to like make sure it comes out once a week. It's still probably going to be years before it's done, but I'm actually working on it, which means one day it will be done. It makes me feel a lot better. Pardon me while I get a sip. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you, this isn't in any order other than like what's on top of the stack. I've got like a big stack sitting in front of me of project bags. And this probably isn't everything I've stitched on since I saw you last, but it's most of it. I had gotten very behind, not very behind, I'd gotten more behind than I liked on my temperature piece. There's like 1,000 strands of hanging strands of floss here, so my apologies. I am doing Stitchin' Mommy's, ooh, I got a big cut. My apologies if you can see my big old cut on my finger. I'm doing Stitchin' Mommy's Temperature Quaker. I'm doing it with my own floss colors. What I actually did was went to Michael's, and my kids love the Anchor spools, and I let them, like I told them how many shades I needed in like a rainbow, and I let them help me pick out colors. I don't think they blend as well as Stitchin' Mommy's colors. You should know that. If you want to do it, you might want to stick with the suggested colors that she came up with. So it's I feel like mine is like a harsher transition between colors. But also here in Pittsburgh, we've had days, like in February, we had days up in the 70s and days that were down in the 20s for the highs. So like, that was crazy. And like, that's what March has been like a lot so far as well. I do have several days I need to put on here because I got caught up last week, probably middle of the week, and then went to the retreat. So I didn't work on this while I was at the retreat, but I kept track of temperatures while I was gone. Now, also, I've been thinking about it, and I'd love to hear what you guys do if you work on temperature pieces. Do you do the temperature for the same town all year long? Or do you record the high temperature for where you were all year long? So far, because I already had to make a decision about this, although I could always change my mind, I've been doing it for where I am. That kind of makes more sense to me, even though for a temperature piece, like depending on how much you travel, you could end up with kind of like some outliers and some crazy temperatures, like summer temperatures in the middle of winter or winter temperatures in the middle of summer. But like in 2023, the only places I'm going to be traveling aren't that far from Pittsburgh. I guess October in Charlotte might be a little bit different. I don't know. Mostly we go to our cabin, which is not that far away. It tends to be a little bit warmer there, but not much. But like, I guess I feel like it should be a record of, or I want it to be a record of where I actually, like the temperatures I actually experienced, more than the temperatures my town experienced. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys have thought about it or run into that situation, what you've decided. Sorry for the zippers. The next thing I have spent time on, I did not take this to the retreat, but I'm like obsessed. I'm really enjoying this, is Young Mother Sewing. This is what it will look like when it's done. It's a golden kite. It's not very big as as far as full coverages go. I want to say it's only like 200 and some stitches by 300 and some stitches, so it's not huge. I really like crossing off stitches on Pattern Keeper. There's something very satisfying about that. So I guess you don't see through this too much. This is where I am. I don't remember what percent it's at. I think it might be at like 4% or something. So it's not much. But again, since it's not a huge piece, it doesn't like take too many stitches. And I'm not, I'm like sort of following like a typewriter, like a loose typewriter method, like what Stitchin' Mommy does. Like I'll go look and see what, well, I know what happened last time I stitched on it. I went to stitch one of these and it was a shade that was like very confetti heavy. Like there were only a few stitches of it here and I was going to be like traveling all over the piece with it. And I was like, I'm just not in the mood for that. So I went over here and picked like the next empty stitch on the top line, and I worked on that, which is what's still on my needle. But I've got some of the mother's hair in there. This is her head, and I'm really enjoying it. So I would imagine I will continue to work on this somewhat consistently, hopefully until it's done. And it won't be done fast, but I mean, I'm working on it pretty consistently, so it shouldn't take too long, I hope. I did kind of get back into the rhythm of working on, well, I've only just gotten back into the rhythm of working on my Princess and the Dragon. Move that out of the way. Just realized there was something I forgot to get. That's okay. So here's my it's not showing well. Here's my Princess and the Dragon from Teresa Wenzler. A needle minder in the middle of it. I got to work on border. I was filling in, kind of being more methodical and trying to fill in the greens. There's also going to be flowers in like each of these like emptier spaces, but those are done with beads. So I'm going to do those last and probably do them in hand because this whole thing doesn't quite fit into my 11 by 11 Q snap. I could get a bigger Q snap, but I probably won't bother. We'll see. Anyway, I'm happy with this. It's obviously not done. I don't even know if you could say it's close to done, but it's certainly well on its way. And the shading in it is just so beautiful. Like, look at those wings. I still need to do all the back stitching. Oh, it's so pretty. So I'm happy to be getting back into the groove with that. I kind of feel like it's March, and I kind of feel like I've only just kind of settled down from the chaos of like winter and holidays, which is not good because before you know it, it's going to be summer, which is crazy. I put a little bit of work in on, let me see what this is called. This was also not at the retreat. Country Cottage Needleworks Forest Banner. So I'm doing these all together. So there's all these charts. I want to do these and hang them at my cabin. This goes like in the top. So there's a free pattern. It says, there's a lot of glare there. Welcome to the forest. There's, if you buy, so you have to buy the patterns from Country Cottage Needleworks. And then once you have the patterns, on their website is a free pattern for how to put them all together into one piece. So there is a house. I think there might be more than one house. There's all these, there's another house. Forest critters. It should look really cute when it's done. I've just been in the mood for this, and I've been stitching this, I've been stitching this in hand using 2 strands to kind of practice on it. I haven't gotten very far. That's where I am. But I'm enjoying it. It made a nice change. It looks like crooked there, but it's totally not. Oh, I think I'm just holding it crooked. I don't know. It's not crooked. The stitching's not crooked. The stitching is straight and looks good. I don't know why it looks weird on camera. I think we're all good. Yeah, it might just be a little warped for me stitching it in hand instead of oh my god, words. Stitching it in hand instead of in a frame or a Q-snap. I have tons of floss, like fancy floss that I haven't used. And I don't typically convert a memorabilia, but like smalls and things like this, I feel like are my opportunity to use what I have instead of buying called for. So I had a bunch of Victorian Motto floss, and there's one more, I need to find out like one, a more red shade to add into this. But I went to my Victorian Motto threads and pulled I like converted everything and pulled a palette to work with from these. And I'm not worried about running out, even though there's like, I don't know, 8 charts or something, because these are 20-yard skeins. There's a lot here, and these aren't big charts. So I'm working on that. I have a bin of whips behind me, so like when you see me just kind of dropping things back there, it's because there's a bin of whips. Okay, so I am stitching Forest Goddess with Lisa, Crossed by Floss, and Sarah, Memphis Sarah E. This is a horrible, horrible picture of her. She does not look like this. Like her colors are very, very off. If you've watched me before, I'm just going to repeat myself every time I film probably. Her colors do not look like this. And so if you're like, I don't want to stitch all that yellow, don't worry, it's not yellow. I think it's the worst pick of any Mirabilia cover picture. Her colors are way more vibrant, and what looks more yellowy is actually more green in real life. And look at the Kreinik. I just noticed this the other, sorry, that cut on my finger if it's grossing you out. Look at the Kreinik, how pretty that is. It's like red and purple. And it's beautiful. I haven't gotten very far, but yeah, Sarah and Lisa and I got together in our room, and Lisa's in my room one night, and just put in some work on her, which was really, really fun. I still got some strands on my needle. So this is where I am. But like, look at how vibrant the orange is. Oh, and those greens are, she's so pretty. She's looking kind of ghost-like right now, but I'll finish her head and face up before too long. It's a Clay by Kim needle minder. Also, if you are stitching this or thinking of stitching it, or any Mirabilia, but this one in particular, go check out the errata sheet. If you go to Mirabilia's website, or just Google Mirabilia errata, there's 2 errors in this chart. One, the key is missing a symbol, which is very important that you know what that is. It's a blend. And in one small part of the chart, the wrong symbol is printed where it should be a different symbol. But the errata sheet explains that. This is I don't want to get it wrong. The fabric is from Country Stitch in New Zealand. Oh, glare. There we go. Country Stitch. I love their fabric, and this is Topo, and it's 28 count linen. I love Country Stitch's fabrics. I think they're stunning. They put everything away as I go. Yeah, people, and I'm not saying they're necessarily wrong, but people were like, you're not going to get to stitch at the retreat. You know, like, that doesn't happen. You don't stitch at the retreat. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, definitely I spent a lot of time visiting and just chatting, but I also spent a lot of time stitching. Of course, Lisa and I did not like sitting in those chairs all day. My bum and my back felt fine, but having my legs, like, so you can't see my whole body, but like I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. My stitching chair is like enormous. It's really, really big, and I like curl up in this chair and stitch, and that's how I sit all day. And there's usually an ottoman in front of me that I will, like, if I get sick of sitting crisscross applesauce or my knees are getting a little stiff, I'll put my feet out in front of me. And I'm 42 years old, but my joints are like 80. So I do need to move my legs kind of a lot. Like, my knees don't like to be in the same position all day. I need to move them around. And my body also doesn't like my legs hanging below me all day. I have varicose veins. My legs get all like swollen. Plus, it can be hard to get into a good position for like my ankle that I had surgery on and stuff. So just sitting in that chair all day, like by dinner time, I was like, I can't stay here anymore. I was actually thinking about like, should I go sit next to the wall? Like, just so I can sit on the floor and like move my legs. So Lisa and I, most days, like, we would hang out till like dinner time and then go back up to our room, put on our or at least I would put on my PJs, and I could sit on my bed and like just be a little more comfortable and cozy. Anyway, so since Lisa and I were together, instead of doing a FaceTime last week and stitching on her, we stitched in person. and I am in love. There's a blend in here. There might be more than one blend, but there's a green blend that I've kind of been avoiding. I don't know why. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. I don't know what was going on in my brain, but I went ahead and worked on a blend while we were together, kind of up in this area and also down here. Got some in, and so Thursday night, we got to the retreat Thursday night, didn't start till Friday. We did the Zoom with Pam, with Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, and her shop is Stitch New England. She, once a month, does a fancy folk Zoom. And so usually I do Sleeping Beauty for that. But this month, since Lisa and I were together, we worked on our Garden Beauties. And I love her, and I'm very excited, and I'm hoping she's going to be done in time for the retreat in October. We might need to step up how many hours we're stitching. It might become a little bit easier over the summer. I don't know. I could stand here or sit here and hold this up and look at her all day. She's so pretty. And she's done on an old silk weaver from like over a decade ago. Absolutely love her though. I did a lot. I worked on 3 Mirabilias at the retreat. I worked on Forest Goddess, Garden Beauty, and I did a lot on Emerald Mermaid, which I'll show you when I come to her in the pile. Sorry for the bang. I need to take that one upstairs. Those last 2 bags, by the way, if you're paying attention, were made by me. So I don't sell my bags, but I do make bags. I don't have like a finished photo to show you, but I'm on Nora Corbett's Patreon, and she designed a dragon for that. This might have even been the first pattern she did for the Patreon. Am I right about that? Or the second? Second? It was relatively early on. I was stitching along quite rapidly on this until she gave Maggie and I, Kitschy Whips, Nora gave us the pattern that people will get at our retreat in October, and I stopped what I was doing on this and stitched that kind of as fast as I could. But I've gotten back to making some progress on the dragon, and hope to continue that. I don't want this to linger too long. This bag is from Jasmine Custom Bags. You can find her on Instagram, and I love it. I picked the fabric out at Spoonflower. If one of you wants to know what it's actually called, let me know. Just message me or comment below, and I'll look it up for you. It's from Spoonflower, and it's one of my favorite bags. I've actually bought quite a lot of yardage of this in a couple different colorways over the years. But when I contacted her about making me a bag, she was like, yeah, just go to Spoonflower, pick something out. And I almost immediately was like, oh, this. It's perfect. I love it. Don't know where to put things. Over here. I also started, oh, I'm gonna blank. Okay, pause. While I look her up, hopefully I can find her name really quickly. I started another Mirabilia with, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get her name wrong. And I'll link her below. The name that's in my head is a Flosstuber. Yes, Steadfast Stitcher. I got it right. Just sorry, distracted. I started, I'm gonna have to pull up a picture for you. I started Elizabeth in the Lavender Sky. Which you do not see stitched very often, but I've wanted to work on her for a long time. This is what she looks like, ish. She's very pretty. She's nearly full coverage. But I had a kit of her, so I did switch out the fabric from the kit, and I barely got a start, but I did start. Am I going the right way? Yeah. I want to make sure I'm holding this up the right way. There we go. This is, I think, 28 count linen. Just like a, I don't know, cream or off-white or antique white linen. Didn't get a lot done. That's okay, I got it started. I'm hoping to make some more progress on her. Probably bring her to the Mermaid retreat. We'll see. I'm sure, I haven't worked on this in the last few days, but I'm sure I've worked on this since I filmed last. I think I did. I guess it depends on when I filmed last. Uh-oh. I want to make sure I don't lose the needle. And I think I'm going to lose the needle. Oh, there we go. This is one of the blocks from Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. If you've watched my other videos, you might remember I'm stitching this for my husband's aunt who always makes this apple butter. This is the apple butter block. It'll say apple butter in here. I'm not going to do the fill-in on the sign, but instead of, like in the block it says like Jane's apple butter, and I'm going to, or Jane's or something, I don't know. I'm going to stitch Aunt Becky's, and then I'll say Aunt apple butter down here. So I've been working on this in this darker green, and I worked some more on the border. So yeah, just plugging away at that. Again, Pam does these Hawk Run Hollow zooms that I join in on whenever I can, which is most of the time. I usually make them. Okay, I'm like flying through today. Am I going too fast? Emerald Mermaid. I should show you the picture. Y'all can be horrified. I have a very mangled chart, but that's okay. I like stitching from the original, so when I keep it in my project bag, it can get mangled. This is Emerald Mermaid. I am absolutely loving stitching on her. I wanted to try stitching a mermaid on a dark fabric. I have Titania, the fairy, on black, and she just pops. It looks so good. And I wanted to do something similar, but not with black, because my eyes are having a harder time with black these days, with a mermaid. So I chose Emerald Mermaid, and I've been working on her. This help. I got a ton done at the retreat. A ton. So like none of this was done at the retreat. I'm up to like, this is her tail. I was able to move down and up so I can really work on the big part of the tail. I did some of her skin. I filled in a lot of like the bodice. I worked on the hair some. I'm sure I more than doubled the like number of stitches I had in her while we were at the retreat. I had taken this on our trip to Hawaii last summer and just worked on it like on the plane and in the hotel a little bit. So kind of barely gotten a start. I love how much I did on her. I was really enjoying working on her. So she might be even the only thing I worked on when we were actually down in the retreat room. But had a phenomenal time. Now I am changing one thing. So this darkest shade, where is it? This darkest shade of green, it shows up better than you might think in real life, but not great. There's some down there too. In the mermaid, that is mostly bordered by a very sparkly Kite, so I'm not really worried about, you know, it showing up. But that color is also in a lot of the seaweed around her. So I'm planning on replacing that color with a water lily. For the beads jangling. Which I didn't put away well, so it's all tangled. Cucumber is what I actually picked out. It's a mess. I ordered a bunch of different green water lilies that I thought might look good, and not blend too much with the other colors that were already in her. And yeah, settled on this. I'm gonna give it a try. She doesn't have, she's an earlier mermaid. She doesn't have, because Nora didn't used to put a lot of water lilies in her designs. So this is the only one because there's no called for. Real quick. Yeah, there's only one Krynic and a handful of beads. So, try not to show a chart. Anyway, that's what I'm going to try to do to solve that particular issue. Oh, the tagging. I just need to put it away because I use the floss rings. Part of the reason why I stitched on this in the retreat room so much is that it's on just a plain, it's actually a Wisholt 32 count fabric, because that's how Wisholt had the color that I wanted. It only came in 32 count. I stitched on that in the retreat room a lot, in large part because it was on a standard fabric. It didn't have water lilies. There will be a water lily, but not yet. So I won't have to worry about it bleeding or anything like that. That over there for now. You know, in case something spilled on it. I was legit surprised at everybody having snacks and drinks in the retreat room. I guess I'm so used to, in my experience around people doing handwork in the past, whether it's like wool applique or cross stitching or whatever, is that people are very protective of what they're stitching on, and they will not let you have a drink anywhere near it. When I've been to classes before, there's been like very strict, like no beverages in the room policies. When my quilt guild used to have like applique get-togethers and stuff, it was very strict, like no drinks, or you can only have water but in a closed container kind of policies. But I guess everybody doesn't mind now. I guess it's 2023. We've lived through a pandemic and we can just do whatever we want. So, I mean, it was nice and I don't mind because I felt like I planned for it, right? I didn't bring my most prized piece that can't be washed and could easily be destroyed with me. But yeah, that was a good thing to learn. Because for a Queen City Stitch retreat, I was wondering if we needed to have like a policy about drinks and stuff, but apparently not, because everybody's just cool with it. Excuse me. Get a drink. So when I first got there on Thursday, I was very shy. I felt very awkward and I legit hid in my room. Lisa wasn't there yet, and I'm not normally shy in these situations. Like, I go take classes at a fiber arts school in Pennsylvania pretty regularly, and I don't feel like I'm like shy or reticent or anything. But this felt different, and I think it felt different because of Flosstube, because there were going to be all these people there that might know who I am, but I don't know who they are. And also I think I was feeling stressed about, like, am I even going to recognize people, right? Because I don't watch every Flosstube there is out there. And so maybe I'm aware of somebody, but I don't watch them often enough, or I haven't spoken to them, you know, via Instagram or whatever. I haven't chatted with them personally. So I don't even know that I'm going to, like, what if I don't recognize somebody that, like, I should recognize? I just felt very awkward. So I went and hid in my room. Sorry, everybody I was hiding from. I went and hid in my room. And I worked on Bella Rose, which is one of the small pieces from Nora. Oh, she's still kind of pinned together. Fix that. Still got thread on my needle, floss on my needle. And she's just being done on a 32 count remnant of I don't know what. She's a full coverage piece as charted. Look at how crooked my fabric is. Like, cut. That's pretty bad. She's full coverage as charted. There's a more vibrant blue than this that's supposed to be the background. Rather than stitching the background, I just picked a blue that I thought would look good. So I'm not going to stitch all that. But I'm working on her. And then the other thing I did as I was hiding in my room, let me find a picture for you. I'll show you what Bella Rose is supposed to look like. Nope, wrong app. Because Bella Rose is going to be beautiful. And Bella, like, so there's Bella Rose and Bella Hydrangea are sold together. And then there's two other Bellas that you get, like, together in one chart. This is Bella Rose and Bella Hydrangea. So this is the one I'm stitching. And then that's the other one that comes with the pattern. If you are somebody who like wants to do a Mirabilia but feels intimidated, or you're just worried about the size, or you know, and how much time that would take, doing a Nora Corbett, they're typically smaller, would be a good option. But so would doing like one of the Bellas. Like, again, it's Bella Rose and Bella Hydrangea, and then there's two others I don't remember the name of. I'm trying to look up my next chart for you too. I like these, the small like faces. There's beads in them. They're beautiful, but they're not overwhelming. They're pretty small in size. So the next one is Joan Elliott's Sleeping Beauty. This is one that, this is what I usually work on when I'm in the Fancy Lady Zooms with Pam. I just didn't this month because I was with Lisa, so we worked on Garden Beauty. But I did work on this while I was hiding in my room. That's what I wanted to say. Oh, I was so nervous to meet people. I'm sorry, by the way, that I was so nervous. It ended up being totally okay. I just needed to kind of go at it slowly, I guess. Still have a thread on my needle. I've been working across the top on the border. I don't have tons done. I've just been stitching this poke and stab in hand during those zooms. This is her hair, her head over here. And this is on I never tell you guys what I'm stitching on. I'm so erratic. This is I want to say it's Morning Glory from Bestitch Me. This is the fabric. This is a 28 count. If anybody wants me to tell you something I've forgotten or look anything up, just let me know. And I'm happy to do that. I just, like, I don't know. I forget I'm doing this and I'm all over the place. Okay. So that's like the actual stitching I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you some of the shopping that I did. Before I show you what I bought, I'm going to try to do this without knocking the camera over. Ooh. Before I show you what I got at the retreat, I'm going to show you what I got on my way to the retreat. And this is not strictly cross-stitching. It's fabric. It's like quilting fabric or, you know, project bag fabric. I'm missing a lot of, in my stash, my sewing stash, I'm missing a lot of like low volume and like softer kind of medium tone fabrics. And I really wanted to try to fill in that hole some. I'm not going to show you all of them, but I got a really nice stash. So I live on the east side of Pittsburgh. The retreat was on the west side of Pittsburgh. And there's a great quilt shop on the south side of Pittsburgh. So on Thursday, I decided to kind of take the day to, like, you know, for me. My kids were already at school, so I left here mid-morning and I went to the quilt shop. It's called Quilter's Corner. And it's it's just phenomenal. There's fabric everywhere, and they carry so much. They have a great selection of all. They don't have everything, but they have a lot. And anyway, I was specifically wanting to build out my stash, getting smaller cuts. I used to buy much bigger cuts of fabric when I went shopping, but I'm much more of a scrappy quilter now than I used to be. Much less wanting to just use a line of fabric and more wanting to combine things. So I was targeting certain types of fabrics. And for the most part, I bought half-yard cuts. There were a few I bought bigger cuts of, but mostly half-yard cuts. So this was one I got a little bit more of because I really want to be able to fussy cut flowers for some English paper piecing. So I got a little bit more of this. Again, I'm not going to show you all of them, so don't worry. If you're like, oh, I don't want to sit here for all of that. I had to buy a chicken or rooster fabric because I have a son that absolutely loves chickens. There's like fabrics folded up inside of each other. And I'm going to show you this one because it's stinking adorable. Look at those little mice. Look at those mice. They're so cute. And these fabrics are going to get made into lots of different things. They'll get made into project bags and lots of quilts. This one is a, what's it called? William Morris fabric. I really love some William Morris fabrics. Bought things like this. This one was the only like absolutely not what I was going for fabric, but it was too fabulous to leave behind. This is upside down. Way too fabulous to leave behind. I needed some of that. Just to kind of give you an idea of what I was going for when I was what I was actually looking for. Again, kind of softer, medium blue, or medium toned, you know, fabrics. I've got a lot of very vibrant fabrics, a lot of jewel tone fabrics, but I'm finding myself, I keep reaching for these like in-betweens and mediums, and I just don't have them. Just show you some of them. This is great. I'm unpacking as I go. I thought this was beautiful. And if any of you are like, I want to see those fabrics in, you know, bigger detail, just let me, or greater detail, let me know. And maybe when I do, because I'm going to do a quilting video, hopefully soon, I can, you know, show some of these off more. So these are from like all kinds of designers. I got a little more William Morris because I couldn't resist. And I got, not only are they knitting sheep, there's a spinning wheel. Oh my God, there's a spinning wheel. And I really like these guys because they're not, there's some other fabric that's out there a lot of like knitting sheep. But these were a little more sophisticated, if I can say that, about knitting sheep. And I really love them. So anyway, I got them. And they're going to end up in some English paper piecing and some quilts, but they may very well also end up in project bag. I thought this was lovely. I think I got this in a couple of colorways. I tend not to get a lot of like oranges and yellows, especially yellows. So there were some that I picked up in pinks. And I'm saying that because I know I got this in another colorway too. It was like, I think an orange, like an orange and yellow. This was just beautiful. And I was like, oh, fussy cutting. Those will be so pretty in something English paper pieced. There's a couple others. Love them. I'm still going. Trees. I was legit proud of myself because usually I'll go and be like, well, I need 3 yards of that, right? And this time it was almost all half-yard cuts. Oh, here's a yellow. I think that might be a fig tree. I love the acorns. Usually, like if you're buying, like usually I buy these huge yards and it just takes up space, and it's just too much. I don't need that much of a cut unless I know I'm going to use something for a border. So, yeah, worked on, this is another William Morris, I think. Smaller cuts. Oh my goodness, look at these apples. Those apples are begging to be fussy cut. Just some softer vines and things. And I have a specific pattern that uses a lot of like low volumes and whatnot that I'm looking forward to using a bunch of these for. Now that as a quilter I'm using smaller pieces, the smaller cuts of fabric make sense. Makes scent. Oh my God. It's only Monday. Maybe it's because it's Monday. Smaller cuts of fabric make sense. This is the same as that yellow print, but in for the fig tree in aqua. Oh my goodness, look at these butterflies. They're so pretty. And pink, again, I often am missing pinks in my stash. Oh, and so this was one that I got. This was the only one I got a 3-yard cut of. It's so beautiful. And I think I might use, more and more I'm wanting to use, not plain white as backgrounds, but something that's got a little something going on. And I don't really love tone-on tones usually because often they're like embossed fabrics and I don't love that embossing. But I thought this was stunning. So I got 3 yards of this. So I would have a bigger hunk to, I still might, depending on when I use it in, I might have to use it as one of several backgrounds. But I think I want to be able to use that as background. Okay, so that was my trip to the quilting shop. And Lisa, this is specifically for Lisa, Crossed by Floss. You need to know there's glitter all over my lap now. Are there any other moms out there who hate glitter? Oh, there's glitter everywhere from a bag. Sorry about the crinkle. I'm gonna open this as quietly as I can. I'm not going to go through every gift that everyone handed out at the retreat. Sorry, I should have opened that sooner. I'm not going to go through every gift that everyone handed out. People were very generous in giving out all kinds of cool gifts. I'll probably show you some of them, but not all of them. Lisa is amazing and brought me this gift. She brought me this project bag from Stitch Folk, and it's got one of the, oh, there's the card. And it's got one of the like Ort catchers. It's got really soft flannel in it too. Instead of, sometimes you get like kind of like a crunchier, like craft store felt. It's not like actual wool, but anyway, this is very soft and nice. So that's really fun. Just start something new to put in there. Glitter everywhere. We did get a project finishing kit from Steel City Stitchers. I'll keep these supplies to use on something, but I did not do the pattern for the retreat. It just wasn't my thing. So I'm sure these supplies will come in handy on something, but I'm not going to do that. Forbidden Fiber Co. Oh, I met Leanne. I met Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Co., which was really great. Sorry, I have a notification. It was really great to meet her. And this is one of her flosses that she did for the retreat, which is awesome. Because it's, what's it called? It's called Steel City Stitchers. It's gray and yellow and beautiful. So thank you for that, Leanne. But yeah, this will come in handy for something. I'm not inclined to do that particular project. So the Crafty You was, so I'm getting into haul here too, okay? I have like a bag full of stuff. Some were gifts and some were things I bought. So if you don't want to see it, I understand, but that's what I'm gonna go through. And there's glitter. It all now. So the Crafty You was the vendor and it was awesome. I haven't, you know, I don't have an LNS particularly, so I don't go into shops very often, and I haven't done much shopping for quite a while. So it was really fun. I'm gonna show that to you in a minute. I told you I was sitting with Tiffany from Blackcatxstitchery. I love her bags, and I bought a couple of bags from her because she had some with her. So she wasn't like the vendor at the Crafty You, but she brought bags with her, thank goodness, because they're wonderful. I actually, when I went on a shopping trip with her, probably a couple months ago now, she had purchased some of this hexie fabric, and I was like, oh, I need some of that. So I got one of these bags from her, and I also got this one with the bees and the hexies, which I love. I also got the bead pack and the water lily, and I'll take the chart out so you can see. The chart for Orange Princess is a newer Nora Corbett. It's beautiful. I just tucked it all in the bag. Oh, I'll talk about that later. I got this bag. Sorry for the crinkle. I'm going to open it. So the Crafty You, I think, sells these in their shop. Here's the info. But if you're interested, you can get one at the Crafty You. This, I like the size. Like, compared to a normal project bag, it's like a little more than half the size. I wouldn't want all my project bags to be this size, but this I feel like is perfect for my purse. Getting a full-size project bag, I carry a pretty big like purse when I carry one because my kids are still young enough that like, well, and the thing is I put a lot of crafty stuff in my purse, let's be real, because if I'm taking a purse somewhere, I'm probably sitting at a swim meet or, you know, like an event or something where I want to be able to occupy my hands. So I keep a knitting project in my purse and stuff, but I don't carry a bag big enough to put something like this in usually, at least not without it like being squished or hanging out. So I thought this is perfect. It's nice and small. Of course, the Blackbird Designs fabric. I love that green. I think the wooden button's adorable. This is the only Velcro bag I think I own. And I might change that. I might redo it so it's not Velcro. I do have a thing against Velcro. I don't know if I've talked about that before. That's why I don't do the Garon bags. Or I might just be really careful about what I put in here. I wasn't really planning on putting a Mirabilia in here anyway. If any of you are also in the knitting or crochet world, the Velcro snags. It snags right your yarn. And I'm kind of concerned about it, you know, snagging cross-stitch threads as well. That's why I usually stay away from them. But I think this will be fine for my purse. So, and it's beautiful. It's beautifully done. I really like it. And I thought it was funny because she's done... Well, I don't know how she's done it. I think she might have done French. Well, maybe not. I do like, my bags often look like this because I'll do like a French seam for them to keep it all enclosed, and I just find it easier. This is one of the patterns I got. When you see this in person, it's amazing. It's this little doodad that like twists and turns so you can like turn how it's being displayed. It's like one of those little fortune tellers from when you're a kid, almost. Not exactly, but in that like you twist it and it moves, and so whichever tree is being displayed at the top changes. And I just thought it was very clever and cool. So I got that. I got this chart. I've seen it and wanted it and not quite bought it several times, so I figured while I was there I would go ahead and get it. I also got this. And Sarah, Memphis Sarah E, I forgot to show this to you the other night. It must have been with some, like, stuck to some back of something. I didn't show you. I got this from Posy. Patterns and Kits to Stitch. Posy by Alicia Paulson. And it's called Time of Flowers. I think it's beautiful. And I'm a sucker for sheep since I also do, like, knitting and spinning and stuff. I think it's beautiful. I can't wait to stitch that. I got, trying to get everything out of here. I hope nobody saw that. This button comes with a free chart. They're like limited edition buttons. And the fabric to stitch it on. It's Flowers for You. It's a shepherd's bush, like limited edition chart and button thing. I might have to try to cut that out. I'll play it back and see how bad it is. I got this, I love waxers. I'm like obsessed. I love making them. I make them myself, so I didn't need to buy one, but I did anyway. I love the mermaid's tail and this fabric for finishing this Make a Splash. I thought was adorable. So I got that. Sorry, I keep bending down. So much stuff. I'm gonna have to put this bag in my lap soon. I got this small kit. I'm also sucker for small kits because you guys know I stitch like huge things, right? Like Mirabilia's, Teresa Wenzler's, that kind of stuff. When I'm going to stitch something small, I usually want to be able to turn it into something, and I'm a sucker for like little self-contained kits. So I got this, the purple by the Purple Thread, and it comes with everything, like all the fabric, the pattern, everything in there, even a needle. Makes my life very easy. Similarly, I got this, Make, Do, and Mend. Small kit, something simple and easy. And these are the sorts of things I would put in that bag that I got and just like put in my purse. So I have Memphis Sarah E to thank for this. They had one of these scissor fobs as like a model on the table. And it was amazing. It was so beautiful. So this is a kit. It's got like all the beads and the thread and everything. I need to make this. The picture absolutely does not do it justice. All right, I'm gonna try to do this without bumping the camera. Was that bad, or did I get it okay, guys? Oh, so much stuff. I also have secret stuff in here because I got to meet Corinne from Grace Notes Fabrics, and she's the vendor at the Queen City Stitch Retreat, or one of them, because we also have a bag vendor. But she, which is Sheba Designs, who has an Etsy shop. Her name's Melissa. Anyway, Corinne's helping us source some of what we're putting in people's bags for Queen City Stitch Retreat. And so I have secret stuff in here. Corinne was passing off to me that I don't want to show you. I bought this like floss keeper that I think this is Heartstring Samplery. Yeah, Heartstring Samplery did these for market, and I thought they were beautiful. She did a couple of designs. I didn't care for the other one as much, but this one I really loved. So when I saw that at Crafty You, I picked that up. So also I got these boxes. These are from Noteworthy Needle. Now I already have one of these kits, like a Christmas one from the Jingle Ball. Is that what it was called? The online retreat that like Lindy Stitches and several designers did in December. And I loved it. I haven't done it yet, but like it's beautiful. I love the kit. The instructions are clear. It comes with a little box. And there were a ton more of these on display at the Crafty You shop. So I went ahead and bought them. I got August, which I think is beautiful. They're these tiny little boxes. They're called thimble boxes. I got August, which is most of my family's birthdays. I got April, which is my birthday. And I got July just because it's stinking cute. It's so pretty. I love stitching little tiny things like that. What else? Oh, Tiffany at our table. She made me happy because she gave me a waxer. I love these waxers. They're so fun. So fun. What else do I have in here that isn't a secret? Can't show you any secret stuff. Oh, I know where all that is. Okay. Sorry, I was confused about something. Trying to be careful. I'm gonna take the glitter bag off my lap. I did buy a couple of small cuts of fabric to do some of these. Well, not even just these, but other small things on as well. So Crafty You, I think they were cutting fabric. I really didn't want to buy fabric, at least not big cuts. I don't need any. Certainly don't need any 28 count. I have more than enough to stitch all the Mirabilias for the rest of my life. But then these are like small cuts. They have a section of just small cuts that are already bagged up, and you know, it's not very expensive. These were some standard 32 count fabrics that I went ahead and grabbed because I know I can stitch some smalls on those. This is the cutest stinking thing. Okay, so this is what it makes. This like tiny little needle roll. It's so cute. What did she call them? Purple, this is from the Purple Thread. It's called the Flower Drum Song Kit. It costs $5.50 and it's got everything in there to make it. That's stinking cute. That needs to get stitched, definitely. So I started this at the retreat. I stitched this in our room, I think, Friday night because I was so excited. So there's a bag. These bags come in several different colors, and I've always liked them and been interested in doing one. I don't want to show the chart, but I haven't pulled the trigger because I don't want to keep my cross stitch in something with holes in it. No offense to those of you who do it. You do you. I know mine would get dirty, right? Like my husband's going to spill a Coke on it. No offense to my husband. It'd probably be because one of my kids runs into him and stomps on his foot, right? Like someone's going to spill Coke on it, or pick their nose and wipe their hand on it, or use it as a napkin after eating a slice of pizza, or like something is going to happen. And I don't want that to happen to my stitching. But they had this one that I had not seen before that says Quilt. And I had an epiphany. I was like, I can put English paper piecing or applique in here. And that I'm okay with because that I can wash much more easily. It's just not as like fussy to deal with, right, as cross stitch. So I got this, which comes with this had the bead pack with it. And then she had a floss pack, which some of the flosses are elsewhere now because I've been using them. Try not to show the pattern. And I went ahead and got it started that evening. So there's my scissors, Q, U, I. Yeah. So that's fun. And I think that will probably get done in pretty short order so I can start using it. And then I thought about it overnight and I went back and got the queen one, like the queen bee. They were out of the beads, but I can still source those or go ahead and order those from the Crafty You if I need to. They were also out of the bag, the like aqua shade of the bag. But again, I know where I can get one of those. And I went ahead and got the floss pack for it. And then, I'm not doing too bad on time. I bought a pack of thread milk for the first time. They're too stinking cute. Look at that. Little baby duck. So cute. Is it a baby duck or a chick? I don't know, but it's adorable. Like very springy. Look at these little vintage, picture little vintage children. They were cute and they were there, so I got them. And then Lisa was standing next to me and was like, they are really nice. I was like, oh, fine. I'm gonna get some. And then I also got my first Almond M&M's floss. Is it M&M Studio? It says on the tags. they are beautiful and they feel amazing. So some of these are the pearl cottons that I've already started using for the quilt bag. These are, I got 10 skeins of her floss, of the silk. Oh, it just feels so nice. Which one's this one's my favorite. Moss Boss. I can't wait to use that on something. And then also, Tiffany's roommate, Cynthia Gordon, I believe. If I actually remember that name right, it's a miracle. I'm so bad at names. She's Farmhouse Flossies and such. She had some hand-dyed floss and fabric that she'd brought. So I grabbed a few skeins of those to try because I just love trying new designers. So that's fun. This is cotton. That's all I bought. As if that isn't enough, right? And hopefully I will have a little bit of money to spend at Stitch North because I'm going to the May Stitch North weekend and I can't wait. There's going to be people that I can't wait to meet at that, like Amanda, Lucky Chance Stitcher, and Catherine, Needleberry Stitcher are going. Some of my table mates from Steel City Stitch Retreat are going to Stitch North my weekend, the May weekend as well. So I'll get to see them again. And I think I will be a little less shy and hopefully for that retreat because I'll have like done one. Thank goodness I did this right because it would not be okay if come October I was hiding in my room the Queen City Stitch Retreat because I was like too scared to meet anybody. I'm telling you all that because I'm assuming some of you have gone through the same thing or feel like you would go through the same thing. But it really was okay. It just took me like a little time to like kind of warm up and get comfortable and feel okay. So I kind of debated about whether to mention this or not, but I think I'm going to. So I am actually, and some of it, this is what I don't have here to show you, but that's okay. I have a couple things that I'm going to destash. And I'm still a little on the fence about how to do that. I'm not really trying to like make a ton of money at it, right? And I really don't like hassle. But I have 2 kits I'm going to destash. In case any of you want me to like let you know when I actually do it, just tell me down below. Or if you're like, hey, I'll buy that from you, just let me know that too. Because then I won't put them on eBay. But yes, I'm planning on putting 2 kits on eBay. So some of you, if you've been watching me for a long time, you might know I have 3 of these kits. Please don't judge. I have 3 of these kits. One of them I'm working on, and I showed you my whip earlier. One of them I'm going to give away. When I'm done with my Princess and the Dragon, I'm going to do a giveaway for one of the kits, like new, unopened, everything. I might also give away the leftovers of my kit. I probably will. You all right for you? Yeah? Okay. I will probably also give away the leftovers of my kit. But that means I still have 1 kit. And this is ridiculous. I do not need 3 of them. So I'm going to sell 1 of them. To be perfectly honest with you, I have 1 other to show you too. I'd like to sell each of them for $100, like minimum. But if anybody wants one, I don't know if this is totally like non-kosher to be talking about this on Flosstube. I'm sorry if I'm breaking some etiquette rules or YouTube rules. And I'm not like doing an auction like on here or anything, right? I'm just saying I want to destash some of these. If anybody wants one, you know, let me know. You can message me on Instagram and might just destash them that way. If no one's interested here, then I definitely will put them up on eBay and see what happens. I have that one, and I have this one. How many times can I buy the same exact Teresa Wenzler kit? Right? So I have 3 of these. I have one as a whip, and I have 2 completely sealed, unopened Guardian kits. I'm going to hang on to the second one if I'm still doing Flosstube. When I actually finish my Guardian, I will probably do a giveaway for the second kit of this. And the third one, I'm just like, I need to sell. This is ridiculous. It's taking up space in my house. Am I really going to stitch 3 or even 2 of the Guardian? If one of my kids grows up and decides they really want to stitch one for themselves, I have the chart too. They can source the materials themselves and still stitch it. I do not need to be hanging on to this many for posterity. So I have these 2 to get rid of. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably going to wait like a week in case anybody messages me and they're like, I want that so bad. And we can work something out, but otherwise I'll put these 2 up on eBay, I think. I also have some fabric I think I'm going to try to destash. Can you wait 1 minute? 1 minute. I have some fabric. I'm almost done. I have some, ooh, sorry for bumping the camera. I have some fabric I think I'm going to put up on Instagram to destash. It's some hand-dyed Monaco that I dyed. And full disclosure, I don't want to stitch on it because it's horrible. It's beautiful, but some of it's Monaco and some of it I think is MCG Textiles cotton even weave, which isn't technically Monaco, but same idea. It's very, I love stitching on Monaco. It's what most of my Teresa Wenslers are on, and I love stitching on it when it's not hand-dyed. But it is a pretty thick fabric and a pretty tight hole. And so back in early COVID, when I was like dyeing everything in my house I could put my hands on, a lot of my Monaco and this MCG Textiles even weave fell prey to the dye vat. It is dyed with RIT, which is not the best dye in the world. And what happened was I went to start a Nora Corbett on one of these pieces of fabric, and those holes now, since they've shrunk from the dyeing process, are so tight that I was like, I don't want to stitch on it. It's too tight. It's not fun. I don't like it. I'm really selling my product here, aren't I? I don't want to stitch on it. But I know some people don't mind. Some people stitch on hand-dyed Monaco. I don't know if there's any dyers currently selling it. I think Monaco might be, I've been told that Monaco is discontinued, like that it's gone. You can still get it, but like, I don't know if it's being made anymore. I've heard people say like use 27 count Linda instead as a substitute, but where was I going with this? Anyway, so hand dye, I know I've bought it from hand dyers before. It's just that in the last year I discovered I don't actually want to stitch on it, unfortunately. Once it's hand dyed, I don't think it's enjoyable. But far be it from me to keep other people from using it if you want it. So I have a stack. Somebody bought some from me at the retreat, but I have a stack of it that honestly is going to go on the freebie table at the Queen City Stitch Retreat unless somebody wants to buy it from me before then. I'm going to charge $15 a cut, and they're I think almost all 20 by 24 pieces, like dimensions, 20 inches by 24 inches, which is really great for Mirabilias because they give you that couple, they're all 28 count. They give you that couple of extra inches because oftentimes if I'm stitching on a 28 count, you need, like to have a 3-inch border for a Mirabilia, you might need like a 19 or 20 inch wide piece. Anyway, I'm going to post those on Instagram, hopefully sometime this week, for like $15 a cut, plus like a one-time shipping charge. So like if somebody bought 3 pieces, I would only charge them like shipping once, if that makes sense. If you wanted to buy like multiple pieces. Just you can watch for that on Instagram in case you're interested. Which you probably aren't because I just told you that I don't like stitching on it. Anyway, it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back with Flosstube. I'm not really, other than showing you guys the fabric I bought, not going to do anything else with quilting today. Although I have been doing quite a bit of English paper piecing. I'm probably going to save that for... Your breath stinks. What have you been eating? Probably going to save that for a separate quilting video this time. Anyway, it's nice to be back. I hope you guys are having tons of fun stitching and or quilting or creating, enjoying your hobbies, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Thanks guys. Bye.